Steam's second most wishlisted game just got delayed, and fans are rightfully furious. We're talking about a potential $250 million payout that may have just vanished, studio founders getting fired, and one of the most anticipated survival games of 2025 being pushed out to 2026. This is the Subnautica 2 controversy that's shaking the gaming industry over the last couple of days. And trust me, the deeper we dive, the murkier these waters get. If you're here, like me, you probably saw the chaos exploding across Reddit, X, and Steam discussing Subnautica 2. Today, I want to try and break down everything, the claims, the rumors, the verified facts, and what this means for one of the most hyped underwater survival games ever made. So stick around because this story has more twists than a Reaper Leviathan attack. Uh? All right, so Subnautica 2, in case you don't know, is the sequel to an incredible underwater survival game that sold over 6 million copies and basically just created its own genre. The sequel has been in development and is the second most wishlisted game on Steam behind Hollow Knight Silksong, and it was supposed to hit early access later this year. But then July happened and everything, I guess, just went sideways. So first off, here's what we know for certain, the verified facts around this. On July 2nd, 2025, publisher Krafton made a shocking announcement. They were removing the entire leadership team at Unknown Worlds Entertainment, the studio behind Subnautica 2. We're talking about Charlie Cleveland, who's the co-founder and director of the original Subnautica game, Max McGuire, another co-founder, and Ted Gill, who was the CEO. Now these, in case you can't tell based on the titles, these weren't just employees. These were the people who literally created the Subnautica franchise. Cleveland and McGuire founded Unknown Worlds back in 2001, starting with a Half-Life mod called Natural Selection. Krafton decided to replace them with Steve Papoutsis, who is previously the CEO of Striking Distance Studios, the team behind the Callisto Protocol. Now, this is a verified fact, as reported by multiple sources and confirmed by Krafton themselves. But now is where things start to get interesting, a bit controversial, and a little bit more into the realm of theoretical. So according to a report by Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, there's allegedly a $250 million bonus involved in this story. The claim is that when Krafton acquired Unknown Worlds in 2021, the purchase agreement supposedly included a massive $250 million bonus that would be paid to the studio if they hit certain revenue targets by the end of 2025. The former leadership team had reportedly planned to share this money with all studio employees, which would have been insane. We're talking about possibly 6 or even 7-figure bonuses for roughly the small 100-person team. But here's the kicker. With Subnautica 2 now being delayed to 2026, hitting those 2025 revenue targets just became virtually impossible. Now, it's important to note this is based on Bloomberg's reporting citing anonymous sources. Neither Krafton nor Unknown Worlds has officially confirmed the existence of this specific bonus structure. On July 9th, just 1 week after the leadership changes, Unknown Worlds officially announced that Subnautica 2's early access launch was officially being delayed from 2025 to 2026. Their official reason? Community feedback from playtests showed areas that needed improvement before this release. They want to add more biomes, creatures, tools, and expand the story. But here's where it gets really spicy. Charlie Cleveland, the ousted co-founder and original director of Subnautica, decided to take to Reddit. He didn't want to stay quiet about this and made some pretty explosive statements. Quote, "We know that the game is ready for early access release, and we know you are ready to play it. And while we thought this was going to be our decision to make, at least for now, that decision is in Krafton's hands," end quote. He also said the events were quite a shock, and that being unable to work at the company he started really stings. And I don't blame him. Now, Krafton has made an official statement and pushed back hard against the allegations. In this statement to multiple outlets, they have said, quote, "This decision was based solely on our commitment to quality and to delivering the best possible experience to our players. It was not influenced by any contractual or financial considerations. Additionally, the decision had already been under discussion prior to recent leadership changes at the studio," end quote. So from what I can gather, they're essentially saying this has nothing to do with money and we were already planning this delay before we fired everyone. And according to Bloomberg, the new CEO held a town hall meeting with Unknown Worlds employees. When asked directly about the $250 million bonus situation, he reportedly said he wasn't familiar with the specifics of the acquisition deal, and that, as he said, "It's never been told to me that we're making this change specifically to impact any earnout or anything like that." And this does raise some eyebrows, right? Like, how does the new CEO of a studio not know about a potential $250 million obligation? I'd want to know that, and I'd expect anybody I report to in such a high position to know that kind of information, especially when I could end up getting some extra money, right? Overall, the fan reaction has been brutal. We are seeing calls for boycotts on Reddit, demands to remove the game from Steam wishlists, accusations of corporate greed, and concerns about the game's future quality. One Reddit user summed it up saying, "I feel absolutely disgusted with the way things are going. I won't give a cent to Subnautica 2, even if it performs well." Now, what is the bigger picture here, or the industry context, if it were? This controversy hits different because it touches on broader issues in gaming. Things like publisher versus developer control, early access expectations, corporate acquisitions changing studios' culture, employee compensation, and profit sharing are all really sticky topics that currently are being discussed in the industry. I mean, remember, Krafton is a massive South Korean publisher behind the game PUBG. Unknown Worlds was an indie darling that created something really special, and these kinds of culture clashes aren't uncommon after acquisitions. But what does this ultimately mean for Subnautica 2? Despite all the drama, Unknown Worlds has tried to reassure their fans that the core development team does remain unchanged. They still intend for no microtransactions, battle passes, or any form of live service elements in Subnautica 2, and it's still planned as single player first with an optional 4-player co-op. They've even released a gameplay teaser to show development is continuing to move forward. But the question remains, will this controversy affect the final product? And the fans of the game are left in a very frustrating position. Obviously, they want Subnautica 2 to be amazing. The original game was a masterpiece that redefined underwater exploration. But corporate drama like this makes it so hard to get excited. The development team claims they're still committed to making the best game possible, but only time will tell if that's true. So my advice, keep watching the story, but maybe hold off on that day one purchase until we see how things shake out. The gaming industry has enough corporate controversies. We don't need to reward potentially shady behavior with our hard-earned money. At the end of the day, the Subnautica 2 situation is a perfect storm of corporate drama, big money, and passionate fans who just want a great game. So whether you believe Krafton's quality-focused explanation or suspect something fishier is going on, one thing is clear. This controversy has created a massive rift between the publisher, developers, and the overall community that wants to support this game. So, will Subnautica 2 still be the underwater survival masterpiece that fans are hoping for, or will the truth about these financial allegations ever come out? Will the new leadership live up to the legacy of the original creators? Like I said, only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the waters around the game just got a lot more dangerous to navigate. But what do you think about this whole situation? Are you still planning to buy Subnautica 2, or has this drama kind of killed your excitement? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and peace out.